All right, people. So I checked out this new Netflix film. It's an Argentinian film called The Marriage App. I checked it out because I was trying to distract myself with a book. It's called The Marriage Pact, and so this film sounded very similar to that. So I thought, okay, you know, I'll check it out because I don't know the book. There's some interesting ideas. It's irritating in places, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. So I thought, oh, maybe if I watch this, I get the end and kill two birds with one stone, as it were. Not the same. Not the same. It's directed by Sebastián De Caro and written by Gabriel Korenfeld and Rocio Blanco. It is produced by Fernando Abadi, uh, Esteban Mentasti, and Horatio Mentasti. Associate produced by Juan Minujín. Line produced by Ariel Chico. Pedro Oneto handles the music. Lilian Pica handles costume design. Yeah, there's no cinematographer listed, which is weird, right? Now, our cast. Yeah, this is a really terrible listing, so I'm only giving you names. We got Luisana Lopilato Juan Minujín, Andrea Rincon, Christina Castano, and Aaron Migilo. Yes. Yeah, very terrible listings here on IMDb for that one. The gist of the film is this: a young couple with children find themselves going through a crisis and seem to have exhausted all opportunities to solve their marriage problems. As a last resource, they decide to use an app that gives or subtracts points for each good deed they do to one another. At the beginning, this seems to be the solution they have been waiting for, until the obsession to pile up points and win independence from each other will spiral things out of control. So that's it. Now, the things with this is, and I think it's the issue with the film, right? Because I was hoping it was going to be really funny. It's not really funny, right? And like this bit in the synopsis where it says, they've exhausted all opportunities to solve their marriage problems. No, no, we do not see them do anything to try and solve any issues, right? And like I think a lot of the issues, because we get I think the wife is Belina or something like that, right? Um she's like, oh, the credit cards are nearly due. Can you pay the bills? Right. And oh, the sink's broken. Can you fix that? Not insane requests, right? And he doesn't do them. Right. So I kind of feel if you're wanting to show maybe this like propensity to ask for ridiculous things and expectations, you could have different things they're asking for because they don't seem like insane requests. If your bills aren't paid, you're going to be in trouble, right? So the things that you're just like, well, surely you would do that. And then they throw in these things like he does cookery with his friends, right? Supposedly they do. You think that they might do pop-ups and things, but we only see them cooking in a kitchen in someone's house and then trying it, going, oh, that's really good. But we're not seeing them go, yes, that's a recipe we can use or anything. So you're just like, wait, what is this? Is this just friends cooking? So when it's just like, oh, we've been entered into a competition, it's just like, why would you be in a competition? You know, they're not, we don't get given enough to be invested, right? Or for it to seem like it's this big, because what do they want to do with that? How do they want to try and parlay maybe success? We have no clue. So it doesn't become this like, whoa, I can see why this is such a important thing. Which look, you think, oh, being that's kind of cool, right? Yeah, but only on that level. So the other things we don't know. And the other crazy thing is, you kind of think because the obvious solution would be, well, because it's in December. So you just be like, I'll bring the fam and then we'll spend Christmas there. Right? That seems like the obvious fucking thing, but it's not even brought up. Right? It's not even brought up. Would you just be like, huh? Because hey, he can go out first, do the first few rounds, and then the wife and the kids come out towards the end, right? And then they do Christmas. It's a simple thing. So yeah, like they're not trying anything, and there's no communication. Like we have them. It starts off with how they met, but even that is just a bit. There's a car accident, and he's just like, "Oh, once I get this fixed, can I ask you out?" And she's just like, "Oh yeah, okay." And then that's it. Now they're together and they get married and blah blah blah. But you're just like, okay, but what was the stuff that brought you together, right? What was the things you connected on? Your shared interests, all of that. We have no clue. So it just, yeah, it makes it very difficult to care, to care about either. She's got a toy shop with her friend, but then it's just like, ugh, because I think she makes toys, but they're selling other people's stuff. Like none of the toys look great, you know. And then when she's like, "Oh, I'm going to, develop my own toys." Right? We see her sketching, and then in a space of days, the toys developed, which is just like it takes a lot longer than that. Takes a lot longer there's no prototype, there's nothing. And then as soon as a toy goes in the shop window, you have all of these kids swarming around going, oh, it's a toy shop. And it's just like, oh, success. And you just, what the fuck is this? It's crazy. It took a kind of interesting concept, because you can use the app whole thing, right? But you need to make it that there is, this couple, and this is the last resort. Right? Everything else has fallen. They can't. The therapy doesn't work. There's all these other things, intervention just don't work. So they're trying this one thing, and they're trying to make like that makes it in. But no, we don't get that. We don't get that. And as I said, it's not funny enough for it to be just base level, right? Because if it was just these hijinks and hilarity, maybe it would have worked, but it's not even that. And then the way everything gets resolved is just super simple, and you're just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. From where they were to this, no one's buying it. Like, you can't buy that all of this can be wrapped up like that from where it was, you know? Yeah, it's just crazy. And the other thing as well, right? Because they get referred to the app from um the woman's sister, but we don't see that relationship because they're just like, oh, they were really in bad ways and now they're like this, and but we have no clue how it started, right? So again, right, because what they just show, they go to meet them for dinner and then this couple are all over each other in the restaurant, which is just a bit like, okay. If that's basically your barometer for everything, right? You're just gonna be like, oh, this equates them being super, and you're just like, it doesn't though, right? It kind of shows they're horny. That's all it does. That's all it does. So we're not really getting real emotion in this. That's, I think, one of the big issues. You know, it just feels very simplistic, you know, which is definitely a shame. Definitely a shame. But yeah, people. I feel that I don't know. If you enjoy, right? I think if you enjoy just some of those just made for TV movies, you know, that's your bag, right? If you like, I say it a lot, but it's stuff like Holiday and just all of that kind of jam. If that's your thing, then maybe the marriage app works for you, right? Because it's not hard hitting like the marriage story, it's not that. So, mm, people, yeah, depends on what kind of films you enjoy. But the marriage app, it is now on Netflix.